Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and Merry Christmas. Funny thing happened to me yesterday, but not that funny thing. The little guy, my son, and I were talking on the phone while he's off on his vacation, and it turns out he's going to be running a campaign for his friends the last year of high school, one last Dungeons and Dragons game. And so he had a million questions for me, and that got me thinking. A lot of us are running some new campaigns in the new year. I'm privileged to be in a couple of them, but he had, like I said, a million questions on, what to do and how to run it. And I'm like, well, what are they playing? He's like, I don't know. Well, that's to me kind of the most important part. Maybe some of you out there will disagree. Those of you who like to run the railroads and you filthy story gamers like myself. But before you can do any of that, you need to know what they're going to be playing. What your players, and by that I mean, their races and their professions. Really more their professions, I think. Because I'm a fond believer in having a good measure of the four food groups. For those of you who don't know what that is, the four food groups are the fighter, the cleric, the magic user, the thief. The Fantastic Four, if you will. You got to have your strong guy, your smart guy, your healer or defender. In MMOs, you've got your tank, your healer, and your DPS. Characters. It's something akin to that. All those bases need to be covered, or you end up having a lopsided group. I know there's people out there going to argue, oh, well, you can run a group of nothing but fighters. Sure. And all they can do is, when all you've got is a hammer, is, nail, hit, bash all of your problems. You can't magic them. You can't, divine guidance, you can't call on the gods as much to extricate you from situations or help you out along the way, or have a healer, unless you're playing like a skill-based game, in which case you still need your tech, your magic, your healing, your combat prowess covered in some way, shape, or form, to a point that it's known to the GM, what kind of challenges you can, in fact, face and be expected to, overcome those challenges. Otherwise, like I said before, if all you have are fighters, or all you have are thieves, or magic users or clerics, there's certain aspects of that, four slice of pie equation that you're really going to have difficulties with. And if you're okay with doing that, you at least still need to know what they're running, so that you have an idea of, like I said, what challenges you can put before them. And because his game is so very, very different, because his game world is more or less based on his videos, The Fourth Agenda. And if you haven't checked out his channel, The Fourth Agenda, spelled out instead of a number, go check it out. Go check out his videos and see what he's been up to, because he's been doing stuff, not the big longer videos like most of you are familiar with, but he has been doing things, and he's still working on that. And his players are going to be running through that particular world, so that also creates its own challenges. As some of you know, I like to run really different worlds myself. I don't like them to be Earth-based or adjacent or anything like that. They're very, very different, and thus have their own cultures and economies and things like that, that bring their own challenges. But I try to let my players get some information on that, so that they don't feel too much like fish out of water when dealing with the locals. But he and I are going to be working on that together. I'm going to be guiding him as much as I can, but only so much as learning what rules he's going to use, and and how to handle, you know, things like combat. And you know, he's great at role playing and doing, you know, one-on-one or, you know, whatever, conversations with, from the NPC's point of view to his player characters. And he's going to have actually a pretty big group, so kudos to him. He might have as many as 8 players downstairs, so whatever night that is, you'll be able to hear him and the boys and girls having a good old time. And I'm looking forward to you know, helping him out with that. And on the bonus side, he wants to use the Dungeons and Lasers terrain, which I don't even get to do because I only play online, and it would be virtually impossible to do any of that without a separate camera person to or another camera to show the Dungeons and Lasers layouts. So that's going to be a lot of fun as well. Fortunately, everything's painted or came pre-painted, right, Cal? So that we just have to assemble it, and we're going to use some foam board to cover it and make, you know, the fog of war so you can only see what you can see. And that's going to be a really great experience for him and his friends. But I'm curious, you know, now that the video's coming to an end, what games you guys are running in the new year? Are you starting any new campaigns? Are you finishing up old campaigns? Are you just going to do one-shots? I'd love to hear what you guys have planned for the new year, because I too am looking forward to running some new games. You know, I'll be running Barrows and Borderlands, but I'll still be running my AD&D game for a little while longer, and then I'll also be running, of course, Savage Swords until I can't do that anymore. But there's one other game I'm kind of looking forward to running, and it's not Planet of the Apes. I'll probably run that, but that's going to be a short 6-8 sessions, and we'll call it a day. But please do me the favor, throw in the comment section what kind of games you're running. I'm curious to see what's popular, or at least what my friends out there in TV land are getting enthusiastic about running. Of course, I know I'm going to hear the word Hyperborea at least a couple of times in the comment section, right, James? But everybody else out there, let me know what you're going to be doing. I look forward to it. Look forward to playing and gaming with you guys throughout 2026 and into the future, far beyond that. But until then, folks, love you guys. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and as always, happy trails.